Deep within the Amazon rainforest flows a river so hot that animals can be boiled alive if they fall into its waters. For decades, many scientists believed such a river could not exist. Yet hidden beneath the jungle canopy lies a real river that reaches temperatures close to boiling point. Long before scientists arrived with notebooks and instruments, the river had a name whispered through the forest: Shnei Timpishka. In the Ashaninka language, it means boiled with the heat of the sun, a phrase that carries both warning and awe. The people living along its banks have always known its power. For generations, the river's presence shaped daily life, its steam rising at dusk, its scalding waters respected and avoided, except by those with permission from the elders. Stories of Shnei Timpishka were not just tales for children, but a living memory passed from parent to child, a map of what could heal and what could harm. The river belonged to a network of places marked by caution, identity, and ritual. Ashaninka shamans taught that the river's heat was a force to be respected, not challenged, and that certain hours belonged to the spirits of the steam. Outsiders dismiss these stories as myth, yet for the Ashaninka, the river's reality was never in question. It was part of a world that measured truth not only by what could be seen, but by what was remembered and honored. The knowledge held by the community stood as its own kind of evidence, waiting for the world beyond the jungle to finally listen. Andres Russo grew up hearing stories of a river that could cook anything that fell in, a place so hot it seemed to defy reason. Most dismiss these tales as exaggeration or myth, but Russo could not let them go. As a geoscientist, he found himself drawn back to the question again and again: could such a river really exist, hidden deep in the Amazon? The more he searched, the more the legend tugged at him. The river was not marked on scientific maps, and colleagues doubted its reality. Still, Russo pressed on, piecing together clues from family memories and scattered reports until a chance conversation with his aunt changed everything. She said she had seen the river herself. That single thread pulled Russo from the world of rumor into the realm of possibility. He began organizing an expedition, knowing that reaching the site would not be simple. The route cut through dense rainforest in Peru's Puerto Inca province, far from paved roads or tourist trails. The journey required days of travel by car, then canoe, then on foot through tangled undergrowth and ankle-deep mud. But before any scientific equipment could be packed, Russo needed something more important: cultural permission. Access to Shnei Timpishka was not granted lightly. The river flowed through land protected by the Ashaninka people, and its hottest stretch lay within the Mayantuyaku sanctuary, a place of healing and spiritual power. Russo approached Maestro Juan Flores, a respected Ashaninka healer known for his deep connection to the river. Only with Flores's blessing and a promise to honor the river's spirit was Russo allowed to continue. This agreement was more than a formality. It was a reminder that the boiling river was not just a scientific mystery, but a living presence, respected and protected by those who knew it best. With permission granted, Russo set out, carrying both scientific instruments and the weight of a community's trust into the heart of the rainforest. Steam billows from the surface before the river itself even comes into view. The air carries a dense, mineral scent and a strange, heavy warmth that clings to the skin. For Andres Russo, the first sight of the water is a moment that erases doubt. The river is not just hot, it is alive with heat. droplets hiss on contact with the surface. The legend, so long dismissed, stands revealed as a physical force. Scientific instruments come out of their cases. Ruzo lowers a calibrated digital probe into the main channel. The display reads 86 degrees Celsius, hotter than the water in a standard home kettle, far beyond the scalding edge of any hot spring bath. In some places, where geothermal springs feed directly into the river, the temperature climbs as high as 99.1 degrees Celsius. That is just below the boiling point of water at sea level, and well above what most life can endure. By comparison, a typical hot tub reaches just 40 degrees Celsius, and most people cannot touch water above 50 degrees Celsius without pain. Here, the river itself could cook an egg or burn flesh in seconds. To verify these readings, Ruzo's team uses more than one method. Infrared thermography, calibrated against laboratory standards, maps the heat across the river's surface. The data show a gradient, a band of near boiling water at the springs, cooling gradually as it flows downstream and mixes with tributaries. Temperatures drop from the upper 90s to the mid-80s, then lower still, but the sense of danger never leaves. The river is not a uniform cauldron. Instead, it is a living system of thermal extremes, each stretch shaped by the hidden geology beneath. Every measurement, every number, confirms what the Ashaninka already knew. This is a place where water and fire meet, and the boundary between myth and reality disappears. Deep beneath the surface of the Amazon basin, the crust of the earth works in secret. Here, far from any volcano, the land is fractured by ancient faults, hidden cracks that run for kilometers through solid rock. Rainwater seeps down through these fractures, vanishing from the world of light. As it descends, the water enters a zone where the planet's own heat becomes inescapable. At depths of up to 2 or 3 kilometers, the temperature rises with every meter, driven not by magma, but by the slow decay of radioactive elements locked in the rock. Uranium, thorium, and potassium release energy over eons, gently warming the stone and everything that moves through it. The groundwater, now superheated, is forced upward by pressure, finding its way back to the surface along the same faults that drew it down. When it finally emerges, it does so with astonishing force. The river's hottest springs can reach 99 degrees Celsius, just shy of the boiling point at sea level. This is not a trick of the sun or a shallow pool heated by surface weather. The energy comes from deep within the earth, channeled by geology into a single, continuous outpouring. Geoscientists studying the Shenay Tempishka describe the system as a natural plumbing network. The faults act as pipes, carrying water to and from the depths. Unlike the famous hot springs of Iceland or Yellowstone, where volcanic activity is obvious, the boiling river stands alone. It is the largest thermal river on the planet not fed by a nearby volcano. The heat here is not a surface phenomenon, but the result of a powerful, invisible engine beneath the forest floor. This underground system is both rare and fragile. The same fractures that allow the river to boil also make it vulnerable to change. Any shift in the pressure, the flow of water, or the stability of the faults could alter the river's temperature, or even silence it. For now, the Shenay Tempishka remains a living testament to the hidden forces that shape our world, an anomaly that defies expectation, yet follows the laws of physics written in stone. Near the heart of Shanai Timpishka, life adapts to a world shaped by heat. Along the river's margins, where the scalding core cools just enough, a rare community of organisms survives. In the hottest zones, where the water approaches 99 degrees Celsius, only thermophilic microbes endure. These heat-loving bacteria, from genera like Thermus and Aquifex, form thin mats on submerged rocks, living proof that even near boiling water can be home to life. Their enzymes, stable at temperatures that destroy most cells, have drawn the attention of scientists searching for clues about life's limits. Closer to the banks, where the temperature drops to the 70s and 80s degrees Celsius, tiny invertebrates like chironomid larvae and tardigrades cling to stones, their proteins adapted to resist denaturation. Larger rainforest animals, including jaguars and tapirs, skirt the river's edge, but never venture into the steam. Birds may rest at the cooler margins or hunt for insects drawn by the warmth, but the river's core remains a barrier few cross. Forest trees grow right up to the water, their roots weaving through soil warmed by geothermal springs. The air is thick with humidity, and the constant hiss of vapor is a reminder of the unseen energy below. For the Ashaninka and other indigenous caretakers, these microhabitats are not just curiosities, they are part of a living landscape. The river's heat is seen as both a force and a guide, shaping where certain plants grow and how animals behave. Stewardship is woven into daily life, from ritual offerings to careful harvesting of medicinal plants that thrive in the mineral-rich, warm soils. The meaning of Shanai Timpishka is still shaped by those who live beside it, who understand that the river's wonder lies not only in its extremes, but in the life that finds a way to persist along its shifting boundaries. In this meeting of steam, stone, and forest, the Amazon reveals a secret world, one that challenges the imagination and expands the sense of what remote places can hold. A river hot enough to scald flesh, hotter than a bath, rivaling boiling water, still steams through the rainforest, defying easy explanation. Today, indigenous knowledge and science meet at its banks, reminding us that Earth's wildest mysteries remain unsolved, and wonder is never just a legend. What secrets does your world still hide?